Владимир, с праздником, великим нашим праздником.
Bonjour. Comment ça va?
Ça va très bien.
Merci.
Праздником вас.
Великий праздник. Успехов.
Kijeshi.
Словакия, господин Кицо.
Господин президент, с праздником.
Слово приклеилось.
Шахет перемовки. Реальная линия.
празднования 80-й годовщины Победы в Великой Отечественной войне построены генерал-полковник Анашкин.
Вольно!
И поздравляю вас всех. Поздравляю с великой.
Внимание! Говорит и показывает Москва. Слушайте и смотрите Красную площадь. Парад Победы!
Государственный флаг Российской Федерации и знамя Победы! Смирно! Для встречи слева! На краю! Парад! Мирно! Для встречи слева! Накра! Товарищ министр обороны Российской Федерации, войска Московского гарнизона для парада в ознаменовании 80-й годовщины победы в Великой Отечественной войне построены. Командующий парадом генерал армии Старюков.
Здравствуйте, товарищи! Поздравляю вас с 80-й годовщиной победы в Великой Отечественной войне. Здравствуйте, товарищи! Поздравляю вас с 80-й годовщиной победы в Великой Отечественной войне. Здравствуйте, товарищи! Поздравляю вас с 80-й годовщиной победы в Великой Отечественной войне. Здравствуйте, товарищи! Поздравляю вас с 80-й годовщиной победы в Великой Отечественной войне. Здравствуйте, товарищи! Поздравляю вас с 80-й годовщиной победы в Великой Отечественной войне. Товарищ Верховный Главнокомандующий Вооруженными силами Российской Федерации, войска Московского гарнизона к параду в ознаменовании 80-й годовщины Победы в Великой Отечественной войне готовы. Министр обороны Российской Федерации Белоусов.
Вольно!
Дорогие граждане России, дорогие ветераны, уважаемые гости, товарищи солдаты и матросы, сержанты и старшины, мичманы и прапорщики, товарищи офицеры, генералы и адмиралы. Поздравляю вас с 80-летием Победы в Великой Отечественной войне. Сегодня всех нас объединяют чувства радости и скорби, гордости и благодарности, преклонения перед поколением, которое сокрушило нацизм, ценой миллионов жизней завоевало свободу и мир для всего человечества. Мы верно храним память об этих исторических, триумфальных событиях. И как наследники победителей отмечаем праздник 9 мая как родной, как самый главный для страны, для всего народа, для каждой семьи, для каждого из нас. Наши отцы, деды и прадеды спасли Отечество и завещали нам защищать Родину, быть сплоченными, твердо отстаивать свои национальные интересы, нашу тысячелетнюю историю, культуру, традиционные ценности. Все, что нам дорого, что свято для нас. Мы помним уроки Второй мировой войны и никогда не согласимся с искажением ее событий, с попытками оправдать палачей и оболгать подлинных победителей. Наш долг – отстаивать честь бойцов и командиров Красной Армии, великий подвиг разных представителей разных национальностей, которые навсегда останутся в мировой истории русскими солдатами. Россия была и будет несокрушимой преградой для нацизма, русофобии, антисемитизма. Будет бороться с бесчинствами, что творят поборники этих агрессивных, разрушительных идей. Правда и справедливость на нашей стороне. Вся страна, общество, народ поддерживают участников специальной военной операции. Мы гордимся их смелостью и решительностью, той силой духа, которая всегда приносила нам только победу. Дорогие друзья, Советский Союз принял на себя самые свирепые, беспощадные удары врага. Миллионы людей, знавших лишь мирный труд, взяли в руки оружие и насмерть стояли на всех высотах, плацдармах и рубежах. Определили исход всей Второй мировой войны безоговорочными победами в крупнейших битвах под Москвой и Сталинградом, на Курской дуге и Днепре, мужеством защитников Белоруссии, которые первыми встретили врага, стойкостью участников обороны Брестской крепости и Могилева, Одессы и Севастополя, Мурманска, Тулы, Смоленска, героизмом жителей блокадного Ленинграда, отвагой всех, кто сражался на фронте, в партизанских отрядах и в подполье, доблестью тех, кто под огнем врага
эвакуировал заводы, кто трудился в тылу, не жалея себя, на пределе сил.
Планы нацистов по захвату Советского Союза разбились о поистине железное единство страны. Героизм народа был массовым. Все республики несли общую, тяжелую ношу войны. Огромным был вклад жителей Средней Азии и Закавказья. Отсюда бесперебойно шли эшелоны со всем, в чем нуждался фронт. Здесь размещались госпитали и нашли свой второй дом сотни тысяч эвакуированных людей. С ними делились кровом, хлебом, сердечным теплом. Мы чтим каждого ветерана Великой Отечественной войны. Склоняем головы перед памятью всех, кто отдал свою жизнь за победу. Перед памятью сыновей, дочерей, отцов, матерей, дедов, прадедов, мужей, жен, братьев, сестер, родных, друзей. Склоняем головы перед нашими боевыми товарищами, погибшими смертью храбрых в праведном бою за Россию. Объявляется минута молчания. Дорогие друзья, в огненную орбиту Второй мировой войны было вовлечено почти 80% населения планеты. Полный разгром нацистской Германии, милитаристской Японии, их сателлитов в разных регионах мира свершился общими усилиями стран Объединенных Наций. Мы всегда будем помнить, что открытие Второго фронта в Европе
Parade, attention.
Батальонно! На одного линейного дистанции. Первый батальон прямо. Остальные направо. На плечо. Равнение направо. Шагом марш!
Leading the marching troops is the parade commander, Army General Oleg Salukov. Marching across Red Square are the cadets of the Moscow Military Music College, named after Lieutenant General Valery Khalilov. In 1940, young musicians were first entrusted with the honor of opening the military parade on Red Square. For 85 years, their drumming has set the rhythm and pace of the parade formations. Leading the parade formation is the head of the college, honored artist of Russia, Colonel Alexander Gerasimov. Marching past the stands are the flag groups carrying the state flag of the Russian Federation, the banner of the Russian Armed Forces, and the victory banner. The flag group is escorted by an honor guard from all three branches of the armed forces: the ground forces, the aerospace forces, and the navy, all from the 154th Separate Preobrazhensky Commandant Regiment. The historical section of the parade begins with banners representing the 10 fronts of the final stage of the Great Patriotic War. On Red Square are 45 battle flags of legendary formations and military units. These sacred relics are carried by the heirs to the heroism and glory of the Great Patriotic War veterans. Marching in formation are infantrymen with the famous Mosin rifles. The bloody burden of the war lay heaviest on the infantrymen's shoulders, and they emerged victorious with honor. Marching on the cobblestones of Red Square are wartime military pilots. In fierce aerial combat, they won air superiority and shattered the myth about the invincibility of Nazi aces.
During the war years, military sailors became a model of unparalleled courage and bravery, displaying mass heroism in amphibious assaults and naval battles. On the march are the sappers and engineers of the Great Patriotic War. They cleared the way for advancing troops, built water crossings, constructed defensive lines, and restored liberated lands to peaceful life.
На Красной площади войсковые разведчики. Смелость, стремительность действий, военная хитрость, слагаемые успеха разведчиков.
Now marching through Red Square are military scouts. Courage, swiftness, and military cunning were the keys to their success. In the first days of the war, border guards earned immortal glory. Not a single border outpost retreated under enemy assault. Soldiers holding their ground while being vastly outnumbered, fighting to the last bullet. Representing the Cossacks is the parade formation of the Cuban Cossack host, led by the host Ataman Alexander Vlasov. During the Great Patriotic War, more than 600,000 Cossacks rose to fight against the fascist invaders. On Red Square, wearing the uniforms of wartime cavalrymen, is the Presidential Regiment's Honor Cavalry Escort. It is part of the Moscow Kremlin Commandant Service, which itself belongs to the Federal Guard Service of the Russian Federation. Cavalry formations took part in all the major battles of the war, liberating Vienna, Berlin, and Prague.
С первых дней войны
From the very first days of the war, all the peoples of the Soviet Union stood shoulder to shoulder in the fight against fascism. Today, we are honored to welcome at the parade military units from the nations representing the Commonwealth of Independent States. Entering Red Square is a unit of the Peacekeeping Brigade of the Republic of Azerbaijan. Commanding the unit is Samir Rizvan Olu. Marching across Red Square is the parade formation of the 5th Separate Special Forces Brigade of the Armed Forces of the Republic of Belarus. Commanding the unit is Colonel Nikolai Smehovich. Representing the Armed Forces of the Republic of Kazakhstan is the parade formation of the Air Assault Forces, led by Colonel Almaz Tuliganov. Joining the parade is the Honor Guard Battalion of the National Guard of Kyrgyzstan. They are led by Colonel Nurbek Dushanbayev. Representing the Armed Forces of Tajikistan is the parade formation of the country's mobile forces, led by Lieutenant Colonel Rustam Sharifzada. Now marching across Red Square is the Honor Guard Battalion of the Ministry of Defense of Turkmenistan. Commanding the Honor Guard is Major General Bashmurat Berdinazarov. Now comes the parade unit of the Armed Forces of the Republic of Uzbekistan. They are led by Colonel Zafarjan Halikchayev. Marching through Red Square are servicemen of Allied armies. Opening the procession are the cadets of the 1st Army Officer Training School of the Vietnam People's Army. Commanding the unit is Lieutenant Colonel Pham Khak Jang. Entering Red Square is the parade formation of the military police of the Armed Forces of the Arab Republic of Egypt, led by Colonel Mahmoud al-Harsawi. Now joining the parade is the Honor Guard unit of the People's Liberation Army of People's Republic of China. Commanding the formation is Senior Colonel Zhu Wei-min. Marching across Red Square is the parade unit of the People's Army of Laos, led by Lieutenant Colonel Hon Vilaip Hon. Now joining the parade is a unit of the Armed Forces of Mongolia, led by Lieutenant Colonel Batarin Belek Sayhan. And now entering Red Square are servicemen of the parade regiments of the Armed Forces of Myanmar. Commanding the unit is Lieutenant Colonel Vin Tat Min. Marching through Red Square are young participants in the parade. These are the cadets of the Moscow Urusi Military School. They are led by Colonel Igor Yakimov. The school has produced 16 heroes of the Soviet Union and Russia. Marching across Red Square is the parade formation of the Tver Suvorov Military School, led by Colonel Sergei Tundenkov. For its contributions to youth education, the school has been awarded the Order of Honor. Entering the parade is the ceremonial formation of the St. Petersburg Nahimov Naval School of the Order of Honor, led by Vice Admiral Alexei Maximchuk. Thousands of officers began their study of naval warfare and maritime sciences in this school. Marching across Red Square are the cadets of the Kronstadt Sea Cadet Corps. Leading the formation is the head of the corps, Captain First Rank Nikolai Davbeshko. For 30 years, the Kronstadt Military School has been training future generations of naval commanders. Now on Red Square are the best of the best from the all-Russian military patriotic public movement Young Army, or Unarmia. The movement unites over 1,800,000 young men and women. Leading the formation is the veteran of the special military operation Nikita Kozlov. Unarmia members honor and preserve the historical memory of the defenders of the fatherland and serve as role models for their peers. With the banners of their combat units in hand, the parade formations of the veterans of the special military operation now enter Red Square. Leading them are heroes of the Russian Federation, Lieutenant Colonels Yevgeny Khabarov and Vitaly Antonov. Among them are 20 heroes of the Russian Federation, 44 recipients of the Order of St. George, and 54 recipients of the Order of Courage, awarded for bravery and valor in combat missions. Opening the Ground Forces Regiment procession are students of the Combined Arms Academy of the Armed Forces of the Russian Federation, led by the head of the Academy, hero of Russia, Colonel General Gennady Anashkin. The parade formation today consists entirely of officers who participated in the special military operation. These are future commanders of the Russian armed forces. Among them are heroes of the Russian Federation Mikhail Martsev, Alexei Mishchenko, Mikhail Popov, and Ainur Sofiulin. Marching through Red Square are the cadets of the Military University of the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation, led by the university head, Lieutenant General Igor Mishutkin. The Military University is the country's only higher military educational institution, specializing in the social sciences aspect of military education. it has trained over 230,000 officers. More than 300 have been awarded the titles of Hero of the Soviet Union, Hero of the Russian Federation. Marching across Red Square are the graduates of the Army General Krylov Military Logistics Academy. Leading the formation is the head of the academy, Lieutenant General Ilgar Kahramanov. In both peacetime and wartime, logistics units ensure uninterrupted supply of all essential resources to the army, necessary for achieving victory. More than 100 logistics officers have been awarded the titles of Hero of the Soviet Union and Hero of Russia. You can now see the cadets of the Mikhailovskaya Military Artillery Academy. Leading the parade formation is Major General Oleg Yegorov. Today, artillery and missile units commanded by graduates of this academy bring our victory closer with their formidable firepower. Over 100 heroes of the Soviet Union and the Russian Federation have graduated from this institution. Marching across Red Square now are service women. Leading the unit is Lieutenant Colonel Maria Tashina. Most of the parade participants build on the proud legacy of officer dynasties. Marching past the grandstands is the regiment of the Russian Aerospace Force. It is represented by officers and cadets of the Zhukovsky-Gagarin Air Force Academy. Leading the parade formation is the head of the academy, Colonel General Gennady Zibrov. For 105 years, the academy has been training top specialists for Soviet and Russian aviation and space exploration. On the eve of May 9th, it became the first military educational institution to be awarded the Order of Alexander Nevsky for its contribution to national security, defense readiness, and the training of qualified military personnel. Throughout its history, the Academy's graduates have made significant contributions to the development of national aviation and space programs. Among its most renowned alumni are cosmonauts Yuri Gagarin and Valentina Tereshkova, a legacy shared by all humankind. More than 1,500 graduates of the Academy have rightfully earned the title of Hero of the Soviet Union and the Russian Federation. And 23 graduates have been honored with this title for their heroism during the special military operation. Now is the parade formation of the Military Space Academy under the command of the Academy's head, Major General Anatoly Nestichuk. One of Russia's oldest military educational institutions, the Academy proudly bears the name of Alexander Mozhaysky, the designer of the first Russian aircraft, whose 200th anniversary the country marks this year. Today, the Academy serves as the country's premier educational and research center for training highly specialized professionals in the field of missile and space systems. Marching along Red Square is the regiment of the Russian Navy, led by cadets of the Baltic Higher Naval School named after Admiral Ushakov. Commanding the parade formation is Captain First Rank Yuri Marinin. The school is among the finest institutions in Russia's naval officer training system. Marching across Red Square are cadets of the Higher Naval Engineering School. Leading the formation is the head of the school, Rear Admiral Andrei Klimenko. Over 25,000 naval engineer officers have graduated from this institution.
Marching past the grandstands are cadets of the Peter the Great Naval Corps. Leading the parade formation is the head of the Corps, Rear Admiral Oleg Ignatiuk. For over 3 centuries, this institution has trained outstanding naval commanders. Among its illustrious alumni are Admirals Ushakov, Nahimov and Kuznetsov. Now come the cadets of the Admiral Makarov Pacific Higher Naval School. Leading the unit is Captain First Rank Pavel Dudin. Over 20,000 graduates of the school have served in all fleets of our country. Now is the time for the parade formation of the Peter the Great Strategic Missile Forces Military Academy. At the head of the formation is the Academy's commandant, Lieutenant General Igor Afonin. During the war, 66 graduates of the Academy were awarded the title of the Hero of the Soviet Union. Today, the Academy trains officers to operate the latest missile systems that will determine the future of Russia's nuclear forces. The parade formation of the Serpukhov-based branch of the Peter the Great Academy is led by Colonel Sergei Semyonov. Its advanced facilities train officers in military and technical specialties for combat duty with state-of-the-art missile systems, such as Yars and Avangard. On Red Square, you can now see the cadets of the Ryazan Guards Higher Airborne Command School, named after Army General Margelov. Leading the parade formation is the school's principal, Colonel Oleg Ponomaryov. It is a formation of 100-plus cadets who have been awarded state honors for their service during the special military operation. More than 60,000 graduates of the school have forged the glory of the airborne forces through their heroism and courage. Over 200 of them have been awarded the title of Hero of the Soviet Union or Hero of the Russian Federation. On the march is the Moscow Border Patrol Institute of the Federal Security Service of Russia. Leading the parade formation is the institute's principal, Major General Mikhail Chepik. The warriors in green caps are always ready to be the first to confront the enemy, courageously defending the nation's borders. Marching across Red Square is the parade formation of the engineering troops, composed of cadets from the Military Engineering Academy, the 2 main command school, and the lead servicemen from the 1st, 28th and 45th Guards Brigades. Leading the formation is the Academy's principal, Major General Andrei Kruglov. During the special military operation, military engineers have successfully carried out tasks, including fortification construction, bridge deployment, and demining of liberated territories. Next are the cadets of the Marshal Timoshenko Academy of Radiation, Chemical and Biological Defense. Leading the parade formation is the Academy's principal, Lieutenant General Igor Yemelyanov. 28 servicemen of the chemical troops have been named heroes of the Soviet Union, and 5 have been awarded the title of the Hero of Russia. Next are the servicemen of the 38th Railway Brigade. Leading the parade formation is the brigade's commander, Colonel Igor Orlov. Now is the parade formation of the military police of the armed forces of the Russian Federation. Leading the formation is Colonel Gennady Makarov. Today, military police personnel are successfully carrying out special assignments in the area of the special military operation. Next are the cadets of the Civil Defense Academy of the Russian Federation, the Russian Ministry for Emergency Situation, named after Lieutenant General Mikhailik. Leading the parade formation is the head of the academy, Lieutenant General Viktor Panchenkov. 75,000 graduates of the academy are always ready to rise to the occasion in any emergency. Next is the parade unit of the Dzerzhinsky Separate Operational Division. Commanding the formation is the division's commander, Major General Dmitry Kuznetsov. The division's personnel have consistently demonstrated extraordinary resilience, courage and bravery. Among its ranks are 33 heroes of the Soviet Union and the Russian Federation. You can now see the All-Russian Cossack Society, represented by parade formation of the Terek Cossack Host and the Great Don Army. Leading the formation is Vitaly Kuznetsov, Ataman of the All-Russian Cossack Society. More than 45,000 Cossacks are honorably defending Russia's interests in a special military operation. 11 of them have been awarded the title of the Hero of Russia.
Bringing the marching part of the parade to a close are the cadets of the Moscow Higher Combined Arms Command School. Leading the parade formation is the school's principal, Major General Roman Benikov. In the harrowing year of 1941, the school earned eternal glory for the unmatched bravery of the Kremlin cadets, who gave their lives holding the fascist advance right outside the capital. The finest traditions of the Russian warrior live on today in the school's graduates, who are officers of the Russian army. As a testament to this legacy, 135 alumni of the school have been awarded the titles of the Hero of the Soviet Union, Hero of Socialist Labor, and Hero of the Russian Federation. Of these, 28 have earned the honor for their heroism during the special military operation. The military band clears Red Square to make way for military hardware. Conducting the band is the chief military conductor, honored artist of Russia, Major General Timofey Mayakin. During the parade, the military musicians perform more than 40 musical pieces. The mechanized column begins its movement across Red Square. It showcases 183 pieces of military hardware, both legendary vehicles from the time of the Great Patriotic War and cutting-edge models currently employed by the Russian army. The history part of the parade starts with the column of the legendary T-34 tank and the Su-100 self-propelled gun under the colors of the 1st Guards Red Banner Tank Army. The column is commanded by Captain Alexander Vorobyov. During the war, these crews fought their way to Berlin, liberating more than 130 cities in the Soviet Union, Poland and Germany. Now entering Red Square are Russia's contemporary armored vehicles. You can now see the 16th Independent Guard Special Forces Brigade's column of all-terrain multi-purpose Tiger M armored vehicles and multi-purpose armored vehicles with enhanced protection. Leading the formation is Senior Lieutenant Vladislav Minchenko. Rolling across Red Square is a column of armor-protected special-purpose vehicles. They are designed to transport personnel and material in combat areas and provide fire support in the special operations area. Major Artem Shvitkin is at the head of the parade formation. And now, special armored vehicles with 4x4 wheel drive, as well as Linza armored field ambulances. They are designed to provide comprehensive support in searching for and evacuating personnel from the battlefield. The column is headed by Major Mikhail Yahamov. Making their debut today are the BRM-1K combat reconnaissance vehicles of the 136th Separate Reconnaissance Battalion, featuring a new combat unit with remote control and dynamic defense system. Major Sergei Shelpakov is leading the parade formation. You can now see, under the command of Lieutenant Colonel Yevgeny Filenkov, the infantry fighting vehicles of the 15th Guards Motor Rifle Regiment of the Shablinsky Regiment with the Berezhok combat module, which includes a 30mm gun, anti-tank munition and a cutting-edge fire control system. Rolling across Red Square now is a column of infantry fighting vehicles BMP-3 and advanced IFVs on the Kurganets 25 track platform with the Poha combat module of the 27th Guard Sevastopol Motor Rifle Brigade. Lieutenant Colonel Stanislav Zhukov is commanding the parade formation. Infantry fighting vehicles have become reliable assistance for motorized infantry in combat conditions. Now is the time for a column of T-72 BZM main battle tanks of the 1st Guards Chertkov Tank Regiment, holding 6 orders. Major Pavel Yakovlev leads the parade formation. Next is a column of gas turbine-powered E-80 BVM tanks from the 12th Guards Shepetovka Tank Regiment, led by Major Alexander Gabarayev. Marching through Red Square, the column of the 1st Guard Sevastopol Motor Rifle Regiment. It features Russia's state-of-the-art armored vehicles, the T-90M Prorыв tanks. Commanding the formation is Major Nafiz Nuriahmetov. Representing the missile force and artillery of the armed forces of the Russian Federation is a column from the 34th Guards Perikop Artillery Division, equipped with 152mm Msta-S self-propelled howitzers. Commanding the parade formation is Major Mikhail Sizov. The combat capabilities of these self-propelled howitzers allow the crews to destroy enemy outposts and military equipment at maximum range and in minimal time. For the first time on Red Square, the newest 152mm artillery system, Gwaride K and Malva, mounted on wheeled chassis along with modern models of multiple launch rocket systems Tornado S and the heavy flamethrower system TOS-2 Dosechka. Commanding the formation is Captain Sergei Kazakov. The firepower of these systems allows our troops to deal maximum damage to enemy forces. Now on Red Square, a division of high-precision Iskander-M missile systems from the 448th Missile Brigade, named after weapons designer Sergei Nepobedimy, and the 112th Guards Novorossiysk Missile Brigade, whose military exploits have been recognized with 7 decorations. Leading the ceremonial formation is Major Alexander Moiseyev. Now making their debut on Red Square is a column of the 7th Separate Unmanned Systems Regiment, featuring various types of UAVs and loitering munitions. Among them are Orlan 10, Orlan 30, Lancet 51, Zala, Lancet 52, Garpia, and Giran. Leading the column is Senior Lieutenant Grigory Teply. All UAVs have seen wide and effective use in the special military operation for aerial reconnaissance, fire adjustment, and elimination of enemy armored vehicles. Entering Red Square are the Russian Aerospace Force troops. Joining the parade are the S-400 Triumph anti-aircraft missile systems of the 584th Guards Air Defense Missile Regiment of the Russian Aerospace Force, commanded by Major Alexei Krivorotko. The S-400 system enables Russia to maintain efficient air defense against all types of air and space threats, which has been confirmed during the special military operation. Next to join the parade are the airborne troops. The 106th Guards Tula Airborne Division is parading on Red Square in multi-purpose armored personnel carriers called Rakushka, or Shell. The formation is commanded by Major Sergei Ovchinnikov. The possibility of joint landing of personnel in combat vehicles at any point of combat operations allows paratroopers to complete the most challenging tasks. Parading through Red Square is the formation of the Strategic Missile Forces. First is the parade formation of the 54th Division with autonomous launchers of the Yars missile system. Lieutenant Colonel Vasily Menchenin is commanding the formation. The Yars missile system is capable of concealed deployment and overcoming both current and future missile defense systems. Missile units equipped with Yars systems are the backbone of Russia's mobile nuclear force. The last to appear on Red Square is the formation of wheeled armored personnel carriers on the Boomerang platform, bearing the flags of the branches of the armed forces of the Russian Federation. Commanding the formation is Lieutenant Colonel Dmitry Rapesov. sky, we see the Kubinka Diamond Formation performed by the renowned aerobatic teams, Russian Knights and Swifts flying Su-30 and MiG-29 fighter jets. Leading the group is Colonel Andrei Alexeyev. As the tradition goes, the parade formation is concluded by 6 Su-25 attack aircraft painting the skies above the capital in the colors of the national flag of the Russian Federation. Leading the formation is Lieutenant Colonel Vladimir Mordasov. At the finale of the military parade, the combined military band will perform the song Victory Day. The military parade marking the 80th anniversary of victory in the Great Patriotic War is coming to an end. The military band is leaving Grand Square. The victory parade is over. Happy 80th anniversary of the great victory. Glory to the veterans of the Great Patriotic War. Happy Victory Day to all Russians. Hurrah! Comrades, officers, attention. Greetings, sir, the chief conductor. Greetings, deputy commander of ground forces and the head of the parade column. Greetings, sir, the head of the General Military Academy, head of the Moscow Military Music School, the head of the Preobrazhensky Regiment. Greetings, sir. Commander of the Historic Company. Congratulations. Commander of the Historic Regiment. Commander of the Infantry Company, Commander of the Historic Pilots, Commander of the Historic Navy Unit, Commander of the Historic Sappers Unit, Commander of the Historic Scouts Unit. Greetings, sir. Commander of the Historic Unit. Greetings, sir. Commander of the Azerbaijani Red Formation. Greetings, sir. Deputy Chief of the Defense Ministry, the head of the Kazakhstan Parade Formation, greetings, sir. The head of the Republic of Kyrgyzstan's Parade Formation, greetings, sir. The head of the Tajikistan Parade Formation Unit, greetings, sir. The head of the Turkmenistan's Parade Unit Formation, greetings, sir. Head of the Uzbekistan's Parade Formation Unit, greetings. I represent the Honor Guard of China. Congratulations, sir. Commander of Mongolia's Parade Formation Unit, greetings. Commander of Myanmar's Formation Unit, the head of the Moscow Suvorov Academy Parade Formation, Supreme Commander-in-Chief, the head of the Tver Suvorov School Parade Formation, greetings, sir. Comrade Supreme Commander-in-Chief, the head of the Nahimov Naval School, congratulations. Comrade Supreme Commander-in-Chief, head of the Kronstadt Naval School, Captain Dolbashko. The Commander-in-Chief, the Parade Formation Unit, Army. The Special Military Operation Veterans Parade Formation Commander. Commander of the 2nd Special Military Operation Veterans Parade Formation. Congratulations, sir. Head of the Military University Parade Formation. Greetings. Commander, Supreme Comrade Commander-in-Chief. Greetings, congratulations on the victory. Head of the Parade Formation Unit. Head of the Service Women Parade Formation Unit. Congratulations, sir. Comrade Supreme Commander-in-Chief, head of the Air Force Academy. Mr. Supreme Commander-in-Chief, the head of the Aerospace Mazhaysky's Academy. Congratulations, sir. Comrade Supreme Commander-in-Chief, the Deputy Chief of the Baltic Naval Academy. Head of the Higher Engineering Military School. Greetings, sir. Head of the Naval Corps, named after Peter the Great. Congratulations, sir. Deputy Chief of the Pacific Higher Commanding School, the Captain First Rank. Congratulations, sir. Head of the Missile Forces Academy. Congratulations, sir. Deputy Chief of the Military Academy. Head of the Ryazan Airborne Troops Parade Formation. Congratulations, sir. Head of the Moscow Border Troops Academy. Congratulations, sir. Head of the Military Engineering Academy. Greetings, sir. Congratulations. Head of the Military Academy of the Biological, Chemical, and Radiological Defense. Congratulations, sir. Head of the 30th Separate Railroad Brigade. Greetings, sir. Head of the Military Police Parade Formation Unit. Greetings, sir. Head of the Civil Defense of the Emirkam of Russia. Greetings, sir. General Kuznetsov, greetings, sir. Ataman of all Russian Kazakh Society, Kuznetsov, greetings, sir. Ataman of the Cuban Kazakh Army, greetings, sir, congratulations. Ataman of the Terik host, Kazakh host, greetings, sir. Ataman of Don host, greetings, sir. General Major Belikov, greetings, sir. Allow me to cordially congratulate you on this great holiday and express my deepest support for you.
대통령님 높은 평가에 사의를 표합니다.
조선인민군 제 총참모부 부총장관 겸 경찰총장 장장상호 안녕하십니까. 당신을 만나 뵙게 돼서 영광입니다. 조선민주공화국 방송 제1부상경 종합장 중랑자인방 당신을 만나 뵙게 되어 영광입니다.
총참모부 의료공부대 중장 김명철.
My best regards for all the soldiers, for all the warriors.
총참모부 5위대 소장, 의료공부대 소장 신금철.
General Major of 525th Unit. To all your troops, to all your soldiers, my warmest regards. All the best. My best regards to all the soldiers, all the troops. All the best.